Hi everyone, meteorologist Brian Bennett with the latest on Tropical Storm Elsa. It is located west of the Florida Keys. It's going to move off to the north, come very close to making landfall around Pinellas County, and then make its official and final landfall around Citrus or Levy counties as we head towards Wednesday morning. Winds are sustained at 60 miles per hour. It's moving off to the north-northwest again, which will take it very close to Indian Rocks Beach and areas around outer Pinellas County, and then eventually making landfall Wednesday morning around Citrus or Levy counties. The Hurricane Center does have the storm remaining a tropical storm, but I wouldn't be too shocked if it briefly became a low Cat 1 hurricane. Again, Cat 1 hurricane, that's winds 74 miles per hour or greater, and it's possible that we could see winds briefly reach that threshold, so something to keep an eye out for as we continue to deal with this storm. All right, looking at the infrared satellite, you notice that we have a convective burst going on here off the coast of southwest Florida, so the strongest winds are occurring offshore at the moment. We can still see that kind of northerly to north-northwest progression. Also, you notice that it looks like it's trying to wrap around a bit of a center of circulation. It is encountering quite a bit of wind shear from the west and even a little bit of dry air, but nonetheless it's fighting against that, indicating that it might be becoming a little bit better organized and maybe a little bit stronger. The Air Force reconnaissance aircraft is flying through the storm right now, and they'll be able to tell us how strong of a tropical storm it is after flying through the tropical system. All right, let's take a look at the computer models here, and in fact I'm going to focus on one computer model here in particular, the high resolution rapid refresh. It appears to be handling the storm really well, and really you want to use the higher resolution models when you get this close to a tropical storm happening, as you need that extra bit of resolution that you don't get from the GFS and the other global models like the European model as well. All right, so here's a look at the future radar. And here we are at 2 p.m. So at 2 p.m. you can see the heaviest rain is occurring off the coast of southwest Florida. Heavy rain moving in through a lot of Tampa Bay, including that outer rain band. Let's fast forward to 8 p.m. 8 p.m. the storm is just offshore of Sarasota County with heavy downpours occurring over that location. Fast forwarding to about midnight, the strongest of the storm is happening in Pinellas County, Clearwater Beach, downtown Tampa, Sarasota, right around the midnight time period. And then the storm continues to move off to the north, making its official landfall around Citrus or Levy counties right around 7 or 8 o'clock on your Wednesday morning, and then it continues to move off to the northeast. Behind the storm, it will be pretty windy. We'll see some peaks of sunshine. We'll also have these remaining bands of rain that'll move through that could produce some really quick and heavy downpours even as we head into your Wednesday, but the strongest of the storm will be moving off into southeast Georgia. All right, let's take a look at the winds on the high resolution rapid refresh model, and let's fast forward here to about 4 p.m. Here we are, 4 p.m., and you can see Sanibel Island. If you can see my cursor there, there's Sanibel, there's Fort Myers, and you can see that winds are blowing sustained right around 34 knots, which will be about 40 miles per hour on Sanibel, possibly gusting to 55 miles per hour for Sanibel, Fort Myers, and Naples area. Let's fast forward to 8 p.m. Here we are, 8 p.m., and you can see this kind of orangish color here. This represents winds of about 50 miles per hour. So Manatee, Sarasota County, all the way down to Sanibel, looking at winds, especially in areas that are unimpeded to the east, as winds will be blowing from the east, southeast in that time period. So that'd be Boca Grande and areas like that would be experiencing the strongest winds with this east to southeast wind blowing right around 50 miles per hour or so. Okay, fast forward. Let's go to about midnight. And here we are at midnight. The strongest of the storm is occurring in parts of Pinellas County. Fort DeSoto is being buffeted by crazy strong winds, Paso Grill, etc. Winds will be out of the south-southeast at midnight in this location, and they'll be blowing, according to the computer model, right around 50, maybe gusting to 60 miles per hour. Same thing goes for South Tampa. We could see a wind gust of 50 to maybe close to 60 miles per hour. And any of these locations that are unimpeded to a south to southeast wind, that would include downtown St. Petersburg, parts of South Tampa, especially Bayshore, Safety Harbor, Fort DeSoto, maybe even parts of Anna Maria. Would it be experiencing those strong winds? Same thing goes for Honeymoon Island. Areas that are right along the coast will experience those strong winds as well. Head inland, and you're only seeing winds blow 20, 30, maybe a gust to 40 miles per hour. Head farther inland towards parts of Polk County and Highlands County, and winds will be blowing 25 miles per hour, so not as big of a deal in that location. Okay, fast forward. In case you're curious, the winds will be blowing right around 50, gusting to 60, 65 miles per hour near where the storm makes its landfall around Citrus or Levy counties, this occurring Wednesday morning. Okay, Skyway Bridge. A lot of folks take the Skyway in order to get home and get over the bridge into Sarasota or up to St. Pete. And the threshold for the Skyway is right around 40 miles per hour sustained. So it looks like right around 7 p.m. or so, we could reach that threshold this evening. And that'll last through right around 7 a.m. or so in the morning. So do expect the Skyway to be closed from your Tuesday evening all the way to early Wednesday morning due to the strong winds, and they could extend it as well if we happen to continue to deal with those some of those outer rain bands still streaming over the area. Okay, that is a look at the winds. Quick look at the tornado threat. As with every tropical system, we are looking at the possibility for very quick, usually relatively small, tornadoes that can drop down or water spouts that can move on shore. What you're looking at here is a new parameter called the significant tornado parameter, and where you see the blues and the purples, that indicates possibility for a small, quickly developing tornado, and that does include Pinellas County overnight, and parts of Hernando, Pasco, Citrus County could see a quick tornado. Same thing goes closer to the landfall as well, up in Citrus and Levy counties as well. And even locations inland as far as Orlando could see a tornado or two with these outer rain bands that move through. So make sure you're able to get alerts overnight tonight for tornadoes. Not ideal to have a storm overnight, but it seems almost to be a rule of thumb that we do have storms overnight, because that seems to be the case every time we get a tropical storm. But again, with that, we can get these tornadoes developing. If you're in a home and you have a tree outside your home that's maybe a little questionable, maybe it has a weak limb on it, or it appears to be kind of dead rooted or anything like that, if that's on a certain part of the home, maybe you'll consider sleeping in a different bedroom away from that threat of that tree coming down on your house overnight tonight. Just a thought there in case you have any particular threats from any large weak trees outside your home. All right, how much rain are we going to get? We're going to get a lot of rain. Let's go into the future here. And this shows future rainfall. And I know it's probably a little difficult to see, especially on your mobile device. Kind of looks like a unicorn vomited a rainbow on your page here. But just know that we're looking at the possibility for some flash flooding and very heavy rain. The purple color here, right around Sanibel, Fort Myers, indicating the possibility for 4 to 7 inches of rain. Same thing goes up through much of Pinellas County and Hillsborough and even western Polk County. 4 to 7 inches of rain also in Citrus, Hernando, and Pasco counties as well. Head towards Orlando, and the rain totals get to be a little bit less, more like the 1 to 3 inch range. And Miami, east coast of Florida, we're only looking at maybe 1 inch to 2 inches of rain, except for maybe some rogue, stronger storms. And then some heavy rain where the storm makes landfall up through Gainesville and Ocala and southeastern Georgia as well. So bottom line is we're looking at a rain potential in the 3 to 6, maybe 4 to 7 inch rain range for much of the west coast of Florida. Flash flooding likely. Do not drive through any flooded roadways, as your car could stall and die out and leave you stranded in that location. Same thing goes with any storm surge flooded roadways. You want to stay away from that as well. Storm surge is going to be a major threat with this storm. We're looking at 1 to 3 foot storm surge occurring from roughly the southern tip of Florida to Bonita Beach to Inglewood, 2 to 4 foot storm surge. All of Tampa Bay, including the coastal areas and the actual bay itself, 3 to 5 foot storm surge possible. And up in the Big Bend area, we're looking at a 2 to 4 foot range. And then head over towards Panama City. We're not looking at really any risk of a storm surge, as the winds will be blowing out of the north. So Tampa Bay looks to be the main area for the greatest storm surge to occur from this tropical storm, which will be close to becoming a hurricane over open water. There are some products that you might find useful. Do use them with your discretion, as they are somewhat still experimental, but I will include the links in this post. This is from the National Hurricane Center, and again, I'll include the link on this, but you can see what type of inundation we are expecting. Inundation, again, is where water comes onto the land that is normally dry. So here we are in Pass-a-Grille, and you can see that we're expecting roughly 3-foot inundation occurring in parts of Pass-a-Grille. So I wouldn't be shocked at all to see the water come on shore onto many of the roads in this area due to the storm surge. Fortunately, it looks like the maximum tide won't be occurring during the maximum winds for much of Florida, but nonetheless, with the low central pressure, some of the onshore winds, we are looking at storm surge being a pretty big risk. Madera Beach, 1 to 3 foot storm surge, up to a 3-foot inundation occurring in this yellow area and becoming a little bit less up and towards the Indian Shores area. But again, you can look at this on your own and find your location, and it is from the National Hurricane Center. Another product here, this is only for Pinellas County, unfortunately. This is a product they just put out, Tropical Storm Surge Risk Viewer. I do think it is a little bit overzealous with the amounts, as it does have a bit more water coming on shore than I think we're going to see. According to this particular run, they're saying the Fort DeSoto is going to be completely underwater. I don't think that's going to be the case, but this map will give you an idea of the areas that are a little bit lower and perhaps have a higher risk of having storm surge flooding. For example, Pass-a-Grille. Typically, the beach shore area right along the beach doesn't actually breach and start flooding the immediate beach locations, whereas the area right along the intercoastal actually does. So this graphic, this map here, actually does pretty good with elevation, showing you that we could see the water coming over that little seawall there and flooding parts of Pass-a-Grille. Again, I think some of the totals here may be a little extreme, but it could be a useful product to use, and I'll make sure I include it in this post as well. Okay, again, tornadoes, a slight risk overnight tonight, storm surge, a major risk. Strong winds, especially in Tampa Bay, will be strongest right around midnight or 1 a.m. And then heavy rain for much of the west coast of Florida. Okay, guys, as you know, I'll be out live reporting on this later this evening when the storm's on shore. And also feel free to send any pictures if you can do so safely. Other than that, stay safe, and we'll talk to you next time. Thank you.